practitioner. So I help people to reclaim their health and their vitality, as well as help empower them to take control over their own health, their own well-being. We do that through things like personalized treatment plans, targeted supplementation, strategic lab testing, with a lot of focus on lifestyle interventions and self-care as well. Sure. Well, one of the major tenets of naturopathic medicine is this belief that the body, like nothing can fix your body better than it can fix itself. So that idea of our vitality, or what's called the biz, that our body has that innate ability to heal itself. So as a naturopathic doctor, it's not so much about intervening or trying to force something to happen. The approach instead is more about removing these obstacles to healing so that the body can then do for itself, right? That healing ability can, has the opportunity to happen. The idea is really about identifying then what those root causes are. And that can be anything that's draining the body's resources, or, draining that vitality, preventing the body healing itself. So tangibly, it can be things like toxins, from our environment, biotoxins, pathogens like parasites or bacteria. But it could also be things like, a toxic relationship, or, loneliness, isolation, holding on to more inflammatory emotions like resentment or jealousy. It could be trauma, shock, nutrient deficiencies. These are all examples of these root causes that can then hold the body back from healing itself. So where I come in is helping the patient be able to figure out which of those factors are applicable and unique to them, and then how to address them. Most important things for me that I've noticed in the healing process, like optimizing the healing process for a patient, is for them to feel safe, right? For them to feel comfortable with their practitioner, to create that environment or that space to allow them to be vulnerable, right? To be themselves. I think that's essential. So that's one of the big commitments that I make to my patients, right? Like, you need to feel heard, you need to feel listened to, you need to feel accounted for, right? That person on the other side is being empathetic towards you, right? Because if the person, that I'm working with doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel like they can be themselves, and on my end, I'm not, being my true self, right? No healing is going to take place. So to me, that's an essential piece. Functional medicine actually originated from a group of medical doctors that were looking for a more holistic approach to healthcare and working with their patients. So a lot of the tenets or principles of naturopathic medicine are actually common to functional medicine. I would say functional medicine may be more mechanistic in its approach, where the naturopathy is more vitalistic, right? I talked about that belief in getting the body to heal itself. One of the areas of functional medicine that I've kind of grabbed onto and kind of adopted into the naturopathic approach that I have is the functional testing side of things. I love the testing because then we're able to kind of take the guesswork out of things. You have, this data, this evidence-based approach that you can then use to then inform and personalize the treatment plan a lot better. A common example of a functional test that I'll use in practice is what's called an organic acids test. It's just a simple urine test, but it can give us information like, if there's any bacterial overgrowth in the gut or malabsorption, right? A lack of absorption of those nutrients because of those bacteria. We can look at all the nutrient levels, even, things like neurotransmitter levels, things like serotonin and dopamine that are impacting, the person's brain function, their mood, their energy, and so on. We can look at their detoxification pathways. Like, it just helps us get down right to the cellular level and see what's going out of balance at that physiological level.